Everyone, happy Tuesday. I want to welcome you to my Instagram live show called The Third Phase. Today's guest is Janelle Stone with Janelle Stone Estate Services, LLC, out of the Dallas area. And she's proudly been serving that community since 1983. And to everyone else who's joining us today, it's great to have you here. I'm Lori Carpenter, interior designer and founder of The Third Phase. And I want to thank our sponsor, Life Ballet, but I also want to congratulate Life Ballet. They have just won the, let's see, what was it? It was the Product of the Year Award at the Decorative Hardware and Plumbing Show. Now that is, again, wonderful. We want to congratulate them. They are a manufacturer of stunning instant-ready grab bars, available in modular configurations, and they are ADA compliant. Life's full of possibilities, and your home should be too. Be sure and check out all your possibilities at lifeballet.com. And be sure and follow them over on Instagram at lifeballetnw. And let's welcome our guest on, Janelle. Let's get her on. To hear about this estate. Now, she does fine estates, so we want to find out all the information on that. Hello, Janelle. Are you here?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I am great. Thanks.
Oh, well, it is wonderful to have you here today. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this business and how it actually works.
Well, I got in this totally by accident when I was 24 years old. Got married. I graduated from college early, got married, still married to my husband, and put him through law
Congratulations
school.
on that.
Thanks. I know we're the only ones left standing.
Yeah.
But I put him through law school, and his first job was in Houston. So we moved to Houston, rented a little while, and then bought our first house. And it was like an old people neighborhood. And now I'm there, but I know old people. But we were the
With the
only,
third phase now.
exactly. We were the only kids in the neighborhood. And I had gone back to school to get another degree in interior design, and I was working in a high-end fashion store, a little boutique, and started meeting our next door neighbors. And my next door neighbor was in her mid 80s. Her name was Catherine, and she did estate sales in Houston. And she couldn't do the heavy lifting, but I could. So I helped her and thought, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. I'd
That's
all
wonderful.
I love it. And I've always gone to estate sales with my mom and grandmother. So I was familiar with them.
Right.
And we moved back to Dallas in 1985. That's my hometown. Went into a bank, and one of my friends worked there, and she said, do you still do estate sales? And I said, of course I do. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I was 24 years old, and it was me and my mother, and that's it. And it sort of grew from there. It's just, who's going to trust a 24-year-old with all their valuables? I
Right.
wouldn't, but somebody did. Somebody did. And as the years went on, we couldn't have children, so we adopted one after we'd been married 6 years. Then we had six adoptions fall through back to back in the next 6 years. Then got two baby boys. We got calls 24 hours apart. They weren't related. Got them a week apart, and they are 6 weeks apart in age in real life. And
Twins. You
Wynn,
got
yeah,
twins.
twins, Wes and Wynn. But Wynn now works for me full time and has for almost 10 years. And then I got pregnant. So four children. They've all grown up in the business. They know exactly what to do. They didn't really understand what I was doing when they were growing up. But
No, of course.
now, okay, and when is going to be the next phase of my business? All the old men think I'm young and cute, and all the ladies love him. So it's the perfect mix,
It's a
and
perfect. Yes,
perfect.
absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
great.
At one point or another, all of us could easily find ourselves having to conduct a liquidation and need an expert like you to maybe handle a fine estate. What are your top tips for anyone that needs to hire a luxury estate sale expert? And kind of explain that to us, please.
Okay, well, let me just start out with there. We call them the 4Ds. There's death, divorce, downsizing, and decorating. And that's would be why you needed an estate sale normally.
Mhm.
I would say probably 80% of mine, someone has passed away,
Right.
and lots of divorces, and then just lots of downsizing, or their designer is taking them in a different direction. And, they're getting rid of everything and starting over again. But the process is when you think you need an estate sale, call someone quickly because good or bad, I mean, we live in a city of 9 million. So, there's hundreds of companies, but to get the good ones, they book out months and even years in advance.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and it's sort of a balancing act of the timing, the closings and all that. But I specialize in-home estate sales, and so many people during COVID went to online, but we were able to, just distance. Not
Right.
always, but we were able to do it. We didn't do as many, but I have to say, the COVID years were our most successful estate sales ever because people couldn't get out and do anything else. So it was great.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they know there is somewhat distance. Yeah, that's great.
So,
Great.
and then you need to contact an estate sale company. You need to do your due diligence when you
Mhm.
hire a company. Ask real estate agents, ask wealth managers, just ask, friends and family, check their reviews, check them out. I mean, do your homework. And if you
Right.
live in an area that doesn't have estate sale, a lot of estate sale people, Google, Chat GPT, estatesales.net and estatesales.org are the largest platforms for finding companies, and they
State
can
sales.
.net and
Yeah.
estatesales.org, and they're regional. You can choose to advertise locally, regionally, or nationally, and we always choose all three.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference.
Wow. Well, when you do that, are they then calling in to purchase or
No, well,
they come
they
in?
they come in. I mean, people. I've got one coming up. People are flying in for this one. I mean, the
Oh,
fashion, the couture, the jewelry, the contemporary
when
art.
is that one? I may want to fly in.
Oh, you do. I mean, you can't see this beast of a painting behind me. I bet it's 10 feet by 8 feet. And it's amazing. And everything, non-smoker, single lady, no pets, and new house. It's just, those are your dream sales.
Wow.
So
That would be
yeah,
so exciting.
it's really, really fun. I love it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. What should people look for and seek out before they entrust valuables and belonging to someone they don't know?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say 99% of mine is word of mouth. It's like when
Mhm.
you hire a jewel, I mean, if you go, you buy your jewelry at some store, you're going to go back to the same salesperson. That's
Right.
sort of how it is with my business. It's rare that I get Googled and hired, but it has happened.
Yeah.
Um, you need to be sure that you do your due diligence, that you sign a contract that's solid. Don't ever, ever do it on a handshake. It protects the client and it protects me. I
Ah,
say,
interesting.
here are my parameters. Here's what I will do for you, but you've got to do this for me too. And
Right.
it's things like the client needs to do their homework. They need to go through all the papers. They need to take out all the valuables, that we are not going to sell. If the family is keeping things, you need to identify those things and remove them from the house because we don't want to be responsible. You don't want to leave a dining room table that someone could scratch. I mean, physically get them out.
Right.
Um, And of course, we find all kinds of stuff. We find money. We find trusts that the kids didn't know about. Oil leases here in Texas. We find everything, and very
Interesting.
personal things too. So we just put them in a box. We either throw them away or put them in a box.
Yeah, put them in a box for the family. I see.
Yeah, yeah.
What are your top 5 tips on how to conduct a successful liquidation sale in a fine estate?
Okay, I would say the top. Okay, how to conduct an estate sale, and this is for goes for all estate sales, because not all estate sales are fine. I mean, they're all good, but I have a
Right.
real niche business just because I grew up in Dallas, and just and my parents did, my kids did, and so it just sort of has tentacles and has grown over the years. But make sure that you are the proper person is talking to me, the estate liquidator. We sign the contract with the executor or the wealth manager or whoever, and
Mhm.
we often ask for proof that you're able to sell it. I made the mistake one time. A sister who didn't have any right to sell anything, signed the contract. And luckily I found out before, and the correct sister did, but you don't want to put in that much time and effort
No.
and not be able to sell it. And
Oh
I
my word.
tell you, over the years, there have been some
I wouldn't
close
even
calls.
dream of that, but I'm sure it happens.
Oh, it does. And like I said, they need to remove everything that they want or tag, because we take the sale based on the quality and quantity of what is left.
Mhm.
And if we walk in and what we were shown and have pictures of, and you said you were going to sell, is not the same. And we get there and there's like, a kitchen table and a broom in the in the corner. We're going to walk out, and then that
Yeah.
leaves everyone high and dry. And that happens more than you can imagine.
Well, I hadn't thought of that either.
Well, we had one last year that was so big, it was going to take 2.5 to 3 months to get together. And it's a beautiful girl, and she called and said, "Well, I've got some good news and some bad news." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess the good news first." She said, "Well, good news is I sold the house, lock, stock, and barrel, with everything in it, and threw in the car. Bad news is you're not going to get to do an estate sale." Like, what? So we scrambled and we got other estate sales, but we had already turned down 2 or 3 good estate sales. And we
Oh
had to pay our
my.
people because they worked with us for years, but they're still contract labor. And so it
Right.
was, and she was gracious enough. She gave us her fine jewelry and her amazing handbags that were brand new to
Mhm.
sell. And it didn't make up for it, but
Right. But
just things happen. You have to be really flexible and
do you
not,
personally have insurance for something like that?
no,
For something?
no. And we had this
Oh.
happen a few years ago. In the South, we had what we call snowmageddon like 4 years ago, where
Yeah.
everything froze and we didn't have power for
Yes.
5 days. We had a sale set up, beautiful, ready to go. I mean, we were ready to photograph it. We hadn't priced it, and we get a call that the house was big enough. It had to have the rain things in the house.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
when the electricity went out, it rained all over the entire house and ruined everything in there. And part of the ceiling fell in. We'd already had, I think 4 weeks in it, and had paid for a dumpster and $12,000 in labor. It was just gone. And there's not really, there's not really insurance for
Oh my
it.
word.
So, you know,
It's
you
not,
hope it
it's
doesn't
kind of
happen.
like the design business. It's not always glamorous.
Oh my gosh, I'm the best maid I know. I won't pick up a rat, but I'll pick up roaches with my bare hands.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
How funny. Um, so let's talk about money. How does a luxury estate expert like yourself, how do you get paid? Is there a percentage? How does
Yes.
that work?
Well, it is a percentage, and I've only heard of, I met a company in East Texas recently who is the only business model like that I've seen. Everybody else I've ever known works on a percentage. It is, I think when I started out, I've been in the business since 1983. So I've been
Hmm.
in the business 42 years, and I think the percentage was 35% then. Probably 25 years ago, everybody had raised it to 40%. And now because I do such large sales, I've stuck with 40%. But so many smaller companies have gone to 50%, which isn't outrageous. And I know people think, well, that's just not fair at all. But labor costs are so high. Supplies. We spend $5,000 or $6,000 a month on supplies. We pay our people well. They're loyal. One of them has been with me for 32 years. And
Wow.
you don't have to tell them what to do. So it's all about trust and loyalty and stuff like that.
And
And
if
I
they're
would,
paid well, you get that
oh yeah,
generally.
and then I always give them, bonus, that they're not expecting because I want them because they work themselves out of a job. Everybody has specific things they do, and we have a core group of six, which I am sure most people, probably have two, and some companies do 5 sales a weekend, which I don't understand that. I couldn't in my business,
Oh,
but there really are companies that do that. And I mean, emotionally, I have a psychiatrist's couch if I had to do that. But we work one sale at a time, only do 8 or 10 sales in a year because ours are usually not
so
always,
big.
but we're so big, they just take so much time. And you've got to be compassionate with the people. And yes, so 40% is what I charge. Now, sometimes there are gaps that you need to fill in. Like if you have a divorce and the couple has taken the dining room table and chairs, or, you need art. I keep a consigner list and, ask and it will be given. I'll go down my consigner list and make great notes and say, look at the text, look at what they have. Had one recently, and we did need a dining room table and chairs. Made one call, got a rug, dining room table, dining room chair. Well, 3 calls actually. Called 3 different people and a chandelier, and
Wow.
put it all in, and it was flawless. The customers didn't know that things were brought in. I'm always transparent.
Oh, I've lost you. I'm not hearing you.
That was Tulsa
Oh,
calling.
oh, okay.
um,
Sorry about that.
and anyway, what happens is basically we get the leftovers that the family doesn't take. We have to stage it beautifully, make it look like a designer show house, open the show, and then it's gone 2 days later, and then we start all over again.
Oh my word. Wow. That's amazing.
It's
That's
fun. It's
amazing. What happens if everything doesn't sell? Do you?
Well, this has been a problem. There used to be back in the good old days buyout people who would come and buy everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they do in small towns, but in Dallas, that doesn't exist anymore. You've
Ah.
got donation, which is no longer free. And like the places like the women's shelters and stuff who are great.
Mm-hmm.
And they come, but they won't take mattresses. There's certain things they don't take.
Right.
So part of our service to help facilitate getting the house cleaned out because it's all a lot of times they're closing the next day or the carpenters are coming to remodel or something.
Right.
We pay for that out of our pockets. We pay for donation, and this one company that we've been using for years will come and take everything. I mean, literally everything from
Oh, that's wonderful.
bug
That,
spray, bug spray to the trash. And it's worth it. It's once and done, and we don't have to worry. We usually do it the day after the sale. We do Friday and Saturday sales usually.
mhm.
Rarely do we do a 3-day sale, and they'll pick up on Sunday or Monday. We just have to send them, photos of what's left, and they know what size truck and the manpower they need to make it go away. But
That's
from
fabulous.
our point of view, we think we price everything so fairly, and we're kind of like, why is that buffet still there? It was priced fairly. And we built a model, and I'm sure other people do this, but we are full price the first day, no arguing. Second day, we open at 25% off. We make everybody leave the house at noon on Saturday and start lining up again. And we actually, we restage, we eat lunch, we go through the drawers to see what customers have put in drawers to come back and buy it 50% off. You know, then we'll move it, we'll trick them and move it to a place it wasn't before, and well, wait, where is, where is so and so? And it's like,
How funny.
we put it up there when we found out that you bought it. So it's crazy.
You have seen it all, haven't you?
Oh my gosh. I could write a book and nobody would even believe it. The stories we could tell. And our group has been together so long that we're like, oh yeah, that was the dachshund and rat sale, or that was the water moccasin sale.
Oh, how
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
How
it's crazy.
funny.
But we have to work, we have to be so discreet. We can't talk about our clients or anything. We all know it. It's just
Mhm.
unspoken. You don't say anything.
Absolutely.
So,
That's good. That's
yeah.
good because, that was kind of, I went through, I moved my mother to assisted living and then now she's in skilled nursing.
Hmm.
And we sold her home. And I really should have done an estate sale. That's just hard to do. It's
Oh,
hard to actually have someone come in and go
yeah.
through your mother's or your parents, your family stuff, so we had to go through and pull everything. And once we did, I was like, this is so much work.
It is so physical. I mean, 15, 20,000 steps a day isn't
Oh,
unusual.
easy. And then you're looking at this greasy stuff and
We clean
anyway,
it. We clean it. I mean, it's funny. There's all different levels of estate sales, but I mean, and we put in there that we put our heart and soul into this. If it's in the pictures online, it will be in the estate sale. We don't pre-sell ever. I mean, and even
right,
the my crew, they're not allowed to buy early. They have to wait in line. I not wait in line. They have to wait 30 minutes after the doors open to even be able to buy anything, because they're on my dime and they're working for me and they shouldn't be shopping. You know,
right,
we try to be totally transparent, and every once in a while a homeowner will pull something at the last minute, but I just want to put it out there. It's not us. We didn't take it. We didn't buy it.
right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, how are liquidation sales like this of this caliber? How are they advertised, and what should people expect?
Well, we have a website, and of course, I think it's the best website. I'm sure it's
Yeah,
not, but we have 11,000 subscribers that subscribe, have signed up
fabulous.
to put on, put their names on the list. And we start sending out, we'll put it on, like we haven't done it yet. We had an estate sale last weekend. Well, it ended on Saturday. Um, the one we'll start advertising this one immediately, because we were in here before we started the other one, and now I can start putting reels up on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all that, advertise the sale. But we advertise through our website and on estatesales.net and estatesales.org. And it's great. Honest, I use it in the South, or the part we live in.
Hmm.
Estatesales.net is probably more popular, but you can actually go in and label the pictures, which I can't do on my website, and say, this is a leak so and so from the 1800s, or this is
Hmm.
baccarat, or this is 18 karat and 5 carat diamond. And then they have what they call a treasure tracker. People can just type in like Chanel, and anytime the word Chanel comes up as a labeled picture anywhere in the country on estatesales.net, I'll get a notice that somebody's got a Chanel purse or a Chanel something. And
Wow, that's it. That I
yeah,
didn't know that.
it's pretty
Jeez, I'm
good.
gonna start. I'll have to. Everybody in my group has got to know about this.
So,
I'll
well,
be sharing these for sure. This
oh
is
my
this
gosh.
is so cool because there is a lot of people that do collect vintage Chanel or
Oh,
something. Louis
and it's not,
Vuitton,
it's not always vintage. I mean, what we've got in
right?
that sale is now. I mean, 300
Yeah.
pairs of shoes with price tags on them, never worn. 25 racks of couture, and probably 75% have the tags on them. So, oh, that's one thing. Most people don't do this. And I think any estate liquidator, if you're hiring someone, ask if they have security. We had the sale we did was smaller. We had two Dallas County sheriffs. At this one, we're going to have seven. And
Wow.
no matter what, I have never been robbed at gunpoint, but I have a sheriff right there at the entrance and the exit, standing right by the money box, but nobody pays cash. Everybody charges it.
Yeah. Yeah. I read does a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yes, security, contract security, just ask all the right questions when you're
Yes.
looking for someone.
Wow. Yeah. That's, see, I live in a rural area. We have yard sales.
Oh, I
So,
wish they did in
I mean,
Dallas.
that we have estate sales, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying nothing to that degree. That's fantastic. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
Dallas
Oh,
is sort of the mecca of estate sales. So,
that's, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine how large it is. Yeah, I'm gonna get on your list. I definitely want to check
yes,
out some of your sales.
they're
That's
fun.
great. Okay, share with us a favorite story, surprise you found while conducting a sale.
Oh my gosh. The really good surprises have always happened, and you'll be going around pricing stuff and saying, oh my gosh, because we do the comps for every single comparables, every single
Uh-huh.
item, because things go up and down. And if because of eBay and all that, everybody collects something and they know how much it should be priced. We don't just make up the prices.
Right.
But okay, two of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. A couple of years ago, we were doing an estate sale. The lady lived in a penthouse, and so we had to move it to, they owned a shopping center. And they said, what color would you like your storefront to be painted? I was like, and it's a really nice shopping center. We clean, we shine, we polish, we stage, we photograph, start marketing, then go back and price. We got the pictures up 5 seconds later after they went out on the web. First call was, I want to buy those, but you've got to sell them for me for $50,000. And we're like, what are you talking about? Pair of candle sconces. And we hadn't even gotten that far. And we went and looked and I said, oh my gosh, when? These are Claude Lalonde. And Claude Lalonde had just died. And Claude was a French lady. We ended up selling those for an unbelievable $360,000. A pair of, candle sconces to go on the wall. And then, okay, this is the best. A week ago Saturday, I was working on the small sale, went to have my nails done. I was near the big sale, and I came in. One of my employees, she loves fashion, and she was pricing the shoes, doing all the comps on the shoes. And I wear a size 7.5 or 8, and these shoes, most of them are 6 to 7.5. She goes, Janelle, I found a size 8 pair of snow boots. And I was like, let me try them on. Took off my tennis shoe, couldn't get my foot in the boot, pulled out a bag in the toe of a boot. Oh my gosh. I found an 18 karat gold watch, $2,300 in cash, a huge sterling ring, and two gigantic diamond rings. Like one's just
Oh,
under 10 carats and one is over 8 carats in the bottom of a shoe. And
holy smokes.
I know. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I called the son, who's the executor, and I said,
Uh-huh.
you'll never believe you're going to like this call. And I said, I found this. I'm going to give you the cash, but you got to let me sell the rings. And he goes, fair enough. So we're going to have some good rings.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
And that's going to
fun.
be at this sale that's coming up.
Oh, jewelry's spectacular. Even the
I can
costume.
imagine.
Costumes like Hermes, and it's over the top. I was going to actually do this from the one of the we have 4 rooms of clothing, but the light one, right? I mean, I have a whole rack of never worn furs, every fur you can imagine. It's beautiful. So
Oh,
anyway, it's fun.
fabulous.
It's
Oh,
really
the
fun.
things you get to see. That is amazing.
Oh, the things we get to see is amazing. Things people have is amazing.
Yeah. That
So
is
it's so
fantastic. Well,
funny.
you needed your interior design degree to know what these things are.
Well,
That
and you
is,
know, that's my favorite part is the staging. And I mean,
uh-huh.
how are you gonna make a kitchen look cute? You know, you've got to use risers and plate stands and put color. And you know, once it's right, you know it's right, and then you can photograph it. Then you go tear it up and price it all. So,
Oh
okay.
gosh. Ah, well, that is a fabulous story. Is there anything else you can think of that's important that maybe our listeners would like to know that
Um,
you'd like to share?
you know what? I think well, of course, I think everyone should go to estate sales all the time. I
Hmm.
don't have time, unfortunately, but I'm always in estate sales because I'm working
You're
there.
working on.
But I think before you even think about an estate sale, go to a bunch of estate sale companies in your area and see what they do. There are all levels. You don't want, you know, you
Uh-huh.
want to make the family proud. You don't want your mom's, you know, bras and underwear thrown on the dumped on the floor with a piece of tape, you know, marked $1.
Right.
You
Yeah.
want to hire the company, and you'll know instinctively after you do your
Yeah.
homework that you get along because it's a lot of trust, and
Hmm.
you want to be comfortable with them. They want to be comfortable with you. Total transparency. If there's a problem, you can probably work it out just by one phone call. It's all about communication. But go to estate sales and see how they're run, and then make
Okay.
your decision from there. And
Wow.
you may be in a rural area where you only have one company,
As I said,
and
we maybe have
um,
one or two.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, two's better than one. You have a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. At least you have a choice then,
Yeah, you do have a
but
choice.
goodness. Wow. Well, yeah, we definitely need on your mailing list.
Uh, and they're not all like this, but you know, you get a couple of
Right.
good ones a year.
Yeah.
So, and Bill, gosh, that's my husband. Wynn is my business partner now,
Uh-huh.
and a full half business partner. He is done so well. He's going to take this business to the next level. You know,
That's wonderful.
young and smart, and it's going to be so much fun. Okay, I'm seeing a question.
Yeah.
Do you travel? Absolutely. We have, and I'm sure I'm running out of time, but we have traveled. We've traveled to Austin, Texas, Athens, Texas, and then I have done two in a little town called Graham, Texas. And the first time they said, "Will you do a sale in Graham, Texas?" Well, I didn't know where Graham was. I had to look at the weatherman, found out all the weather goes through Graham before it comes to Dallas. Tiny little town of 8,800 people. I've done two of the best sales I've ever done in my career in Graham. And then probably the one of the most world class sales I've ever done was in Wichita Falls, Texas. And it was I mean, it was so over the top. I can't even tell you. So yes, we do travel. We'll travel anywhere for a good sale, but those are considered out of town. And we
Right.
actually go stay in the house and stay for 4 or 5 days, then come home. But
Right.
it's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, this is so interesting and it's so much. And I know my group has learned so much from you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you, and thank you for what you do. I couldn't do this. You do it with style
I
and
couldn't do
grace.
estate sales, let me tell you.
I'm glad you have your job and I have my job.
Yeah. Yeah. We all need our niche for sure.
Yes,
Sure.
exactly.
Well, thank you, Janelle, so much for being here and sharing all this information. I do have a newsletter that I do send out to my list that will give a breakdown, kind of recap of this. So you can look for that, and we'll be posting, of course, on our socials and on YouTube. So
Oh,
be sure
great.
and catch it
Thank
there.
you.
So look forward to having you there, and to everyone else, be sure and join. If you haven't joined the Facebook group called The Third Phase, go over and do that and
Mhm.
sign up for our newsletter. And Leslie's saying, fantastic conversation. Thank you, Janelle.
And tell
Yeah.
Leslie, thank you for setting all this up.
Yes, we definitely I have a big gratitude for Miss Leslie for all she does.
Oh my
She does
gosh.
so much.
I need Miss Leslie in my life.
Yeah, yeah, she is a force to be reckoned with for
This
sure.
is great. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.